Hello, lovely, lovely people, and welcome to what is going to be a class, but an online one, and it's going to be about lag and how it impacts on you in Second Life and what you can do. Now, two things about lag that you can't control is one, it could be caused, or no, not two things, lots of things. I'm not going to be doing any cuts on this. It's going to be a one-take wonder. So if I do get all my words mixed up, well, I get them mixed up. So what are the causes of lag? Well, the first one is it might just be your internet is a bit of a bugger today. Not a lot you can do about that. Don't try fixing it. If you try fixing it and it breaks, then you're going to kind of be stuck. The next thing, sometimes it's just a bad day in Second Life. Just had to accept it. It's just one of those things. Other issues might just be that you've got lots and lots of applications open on your machine. So when you come to a show, close everything down. Another thing might be you just got a bad PC today. Sometimes just logging on and off helps. And also, if you've made the mistake of clearing your cache down, that doesn't help you. Lots of people clear their cache, don't, and certainly don't before a show. So what are the sort of things we're going to be talking about today? Well, like I say, it's not about fixing stuff on the internet, and it's not about fixing Second Life, because we can't do that. I look boring, so let me just do a little dance on my heels. So, here we go. Yeah! So the first thing you can do is, this dance might get annoying, but hey, the first thing we're going to do is look at certain things you can switch off. Look on here, you'll see I have my name above my head. Now when you're in a crowded sim and you've got 40 or 50 people with that above their head, then that's going to really be a bugger. So switch that off. So I'm in Fastall. So what I do is I set avatar. I then select preferences. And in this screen here, it says name tags on the general tab. Just click it so it's off. So that actually gets rid of this up here. The other thing I explained in another video I did the other day was about this nearby chat thing. So when people tap in here, blah, 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 you start getting it filling up here. And that can also, in a way, cause lag. And also, actually, see this little thing I use this to do my posing? It can also cover that up. So my tip is click on the, and again, this is Firestore. Click on nearby chat. That creates that all to come up in the top right-hand corner. Move that away. And suddenly, when people are typing, you've got a clear screen. So that potentially will slow down lag a little bit for you. But there are other things you can definitely do. The first thing, as I said, is don't clear your cache down. There's an ability to, in Second Life, to clear your cache. But with computers these days, where there's lots of space, it's kind of pointless. Sometimes, oddly enough, a sim being restarted will cause lag because everything has to re-res. So the first thing I do at a show is I turn up early and I just walk around the sim and having everything res. So that when it comes to showtime, everything's resed and I don't have to worry about stuff resing whilst I'm walking. That will also potentially help a little bit. Generally though, if it's really bad lag, it's really bad lag, and that's just the way it goes. So what other things can we do? Well, the first thing is on your screen settings. It might be that you've got your graphics set to the highest level that they can be, and you can switch them down a bit. So what I do there is I just click on avatar, again it's preferences, and I go into graphics. Here I've got my setup is ultra. Just drag that down to say a low level, and that will definitely help you. It might mean, and then after you drag it down, click OK. That might mean that you don't see things as pretty as they should be, but so what? Other things that you can do to help your AVI is when you're doing a fashion show, Lots of models put on the most expensive hair, the most expensive shoes and jewellery and all that sort of stuff. You're not there to model your hair or your shoes. You're there to, unless the designer specifically asks you to, you're there to show off their clothes, show off their designs. So why put on the most expensive hair and don't wear jewellery and have shoes with the lowest prim in them? Also, when you change your outfits, do never change your hair, never change your shoes, and never change your jewellery. Why should you? So what happens is when you're getting changed, and however you change, we all have different ways. There's nothing worse in lag than a model to come back and her hair has disappeared. So if you're not worrying about changing your hair, just your outfit, then that also helps massively. Other things you can do is when you're walking along, you're pressing the up arrow, or hopefully not the down arrow, the up arrow, the left arrow, or the right arrow. If you're suddenly finding yourself stuck, you're walking on the spot, let go. So take your hands completely away from your keyboard and hold them away. And when the lag comes away, tap on again. Because what happens is you just keep pressing the up arrow, the left arrow, whatever keys. Those keystrokes, they're called, they're going to be stored in your computer. So the second the lag goes away, you're going to go bouncing forward out of control. So when lag starts, take your fingers away from the keyboard. There are other things you can do about switching certain things off on your screen. I tend to not mess about with stuff like that. You can de-render things, you can basically mess about. But generally in lag, it's just a case of it's there, and you just have to really just get used to it. I've been doing this thing for 10 years, and I would say there's only been 2 shows that have been cancelled due to lag. Other things that can help you is you can switch off sound, you can switch off voice, you can switch off all sorts of things, and have your avatar working on the most basic settings. But again, that's up to you. There's certain things you can actually switch off as well. If we have a look at this and on the preferences, there's things we can switch off in sound and media, so you can switch off all this sort of stuff. There's certain things we can switch off in here. View display names, click off and click off this and click off all these things. The only problem with doing that is that when you come back, you have to switch them all back on again. So let's be honest with you, all these switching off stuff isn't going to really help too much in lag. It's really just a case of living with it and not panicking. But do the little things to help yourself. And I would say the biggest thing is only have one hair, only have one set of shoes, and don't wear jewellery. Because those things have to re-res. And one of the things with lag isn't necessarily the walking about, it's the changing and things. So what you have to do is accept in lag it's going to take a little bit longer to change. Like when you do your practices, you do a quick change and click, 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 all your new stuff is on. In lag, it might just be you have to give it an extra minute or so. So give it an extra minute or so, it's not going to hurt. Have some tea, have some coffee, I suck on grapes. Just relax and don't panic. Yeah, just live with it. Like I say, I could go on about lots and lots and lots of things to fix lag and all sorts of settings on your advanced settings or on your developer settings. I'm going to leave those things alone because it really doesn't help. It actually makes things more difficult. Some people, for instance, have it so that they hide or they block people in the audience. You can't see them. It's really not worth doing because you only have to unblock them later. So yeah, just live with it, and don't be too worried. When it's laggy, it's laggy. That's it. Let us know. Thank you very much and happy lagging. Bye bye.